Barely 19, Lucy stepped over the threshold of Miss Mary's house. The woman immediately pursed her lips and silently turned around to walk away. After all, just like she'd been warned, her son David really had brought his fiancée into the house. And not just that, she was already pregnant, though her belly wasn't showing yet, being 5 months along. The girl remembered all too well the difficult temper of her future mother-in-law and was very anxious about the meeting. "Well, go meet our eldest fool and his stray," Miss Mary said irritably to her husband, Mr. Nicholas, who wasn't particularly known for his warmth either. "So he's actually thinking of getting married?" the head of the family muttered, staring at his wife. "Exactly, thinking," she replied sarcastically. "We'll see how long they last." During the introduction, Lucy didn't know where to put herself. The future in-laws behaved casually, but the tension in the room was palpable and kept building. She sighed with relief when she was finally able to step outside again. "I don't know, David. Maybe we shouldn't get married. We're still too young," Lucy said fearfully. The groom looked at her angrily. "Then tell me honestly, why did you even come to meet them? You told me yourself you didn't want to be a single mother. So what's the problem?" "Where would we even live?" she asked hesitantly. "With your parents?" "Well, yeah, for now. I need to find a decent job so we can rent a place of our own," David said, wrapping his arm around her shoulders. "Sure, we're jumping into family life too early, but it's too late to back out now. We're having a baby." At that moment, Lucy thought she had found the most reasonable and calm young man of her age. He may not have had more than a high school diploma and sold shoes at the local market, but he seemed to have a solid, clear idea of what he wanted from life. Or so it seemed at the beginning. Miss Mary flat out refused to organize a wedding. "Dear in-law," she said dismissively to Lucy's mother, Miss Lily, "you know how things were in our youth. Our mothers-in-law wouldn't have even let us near their doorstep if we showed up with a belly. So be grateful I even agreed to this marriage. Be thankful they're going to live with us too. She better get ready for her duties. I'll be watching." Miss Lily, Lucy's mother, couldn't believe the rudeness of her future relatives. But after thinking it over, she admitted to herself that she wouldn't be thrilled either if her own son Max had come home at that age saying he was getting married and having a baby. The couple quietly registered their marriage and moved in with David's parents. Miss Mary made it clear in every way that Lucy was a stranger to her, even after her grandson, healthy little Nick, was born. She publicly announced, "I don't acknowledge this child as my grandson. I'm too young to be a grandmother." She had just turned 45, and the thought of it didn't bring her much joy. "I haven't had the chance to enjoy life yet, and now I've got a grandkid on my hands. If they gave birth, they can do the raising." Miss Lily, who was about 10 years older than Miss Mary, quietly accepted her daughter's fate. "It's my fault," she thought. "I didn't protect her, and now she's paying for her foolishness." Meanwhile, Lucy was adjusting to her new difficult role, a role that brought sleepless nights, exhaustion, and a sinking feeling that she was being pulled into a bottomless swamp with no escape. Still, out of love for David and their newborn son, she accepted her daily life and her role as an unwanted daughter-in-law. Her mother-in-law referred to her grandson only as the little bastard, a term Lucy didn't understand and therefore didn't react to. But when David's younger brother used the same word in front of Lucy's parents, a real scandal broke out. "What's the big deal?" Miss Mary shrugged. "If we hadn't taken Lucy in, that's exactly what he would have been, walking around without a father's name. It is what it is." Lucy packed her things and moved out of Miss Mary's house. The next day, her mother spun her finger near her temple. "Did you hear how she talked about your child? Why didn't you leave sooner? Why didn't you ask on what grounds she was insulting her own grandson? I didn't know what that word meant," Lucy cried. "I've told you 100 times. Read books instead of batting your eyelashes at boys." "Well, I batted them. And now it's in little Nick she sees a mistake, calling him an illegitimate brat." Miss Lily was heartbroken, angry for her daughter, her grandson, and for herself. She'd worked as a doctor for 30 years, was respected by everyone, and now some market vendor dared to insult her family like that. David took his mother's side and didn't object when his wife left. Lucy still secretly hoped he'd come for her and they'd be together again, but that didn't happen. Instead, Miss Mary called Lucy and snapped, "David's coming over now. Give him back the wedding ring. I paid for it, and return Nick's crib. My youngest used to sleep in it. Vera's getting married, and I'm counting the days until she gives me real grandchildren." Lucy sobbed uncontrollably after hearing that. It turned out no one had ever taken her seriously from the start. David's only sister, Vera, was 3 years older and considered the golden child. Though not blessed with beauty, her self-esteem was sky high. "Looks aren't everything these days," Miss Mary would say. "You've got your own apartment. Your father and I gave it to you. Any guy would kill for a girl like that. He'll hang on your every word." And she was right. David was stunned when he found out who Vera was marrying, a 30-year-old man named Anatoly, widely known as a complete loser. He had lived with a girl for 3 years, but she eventually kicked him out because he refused to work. Anatoly moved back in with his parents. When he met Vera, he realized what an opportunity he had and did everything to win her over. He succeeded. After the wedding, they moved into Vera's apartment. Anatoly played his cards well. He acted like the perfect husband, indulged Vera's every whim, and even made weekly visits to her parents. Successfully charming Miss Mary and Mr. Nicholas, they began comparing him to David. "Now that's a real man. You know why he treats us so well? Because he truly loves and respects our precious Vera. She's the best of both of us." David felt like they were saying, "Sorry, son, but you're a failed experiment. We wasted our time and money on you." He would grunt and lock himself in his room. One day, he came across a photo of Lucy and baby Nick, who was smiling, chewing on a rubber ring. His hand reached for the phone instinctively. "Hey, Lucy, how are you? What's Nick up to?" "Why are you calling?" Lucy asked coldly. "I don't know. Just wanted to check on you guys. It's been half a year. Haven't seen you since." "Let me guess. You had a fight with your mommy again?" Lucy asked mockingly. "Why would you think that?" David was genuinely surprised by her accuracy. "Because that's when you always call. Whenever she upsets you, you run to me and dump your feelings like I'm some kind of emotional garbage bin. I'm done with that. Go back to your mommy and try to make peace with her." Lucy hung up. David sat for a minute, then jumped up. "Oh, really? I'll show you. He's my son. I never abandoned him." He ran to his father and blurted out, "Dad, give me the car keys. I've got to go." "What kind of business could a slacker like you possibly have?" Miss Mary scoffed. "None of your business," David snapped. "Oh, it is my business," Miss Mary fired back. "Who do you think pays for gas and repairs on that wreck you call a car? And what do you think, your precious daddy?" "As if everything comes out of my wallet," snapped Miss Mary. "You little brat," Mr. Nicholas growled. "How can you talk about me like that, especially in front of the kids? Let them see and know exactly what kind of man you are," his wife fired back. "A house full of freeloaders and not a single person to lean on." David realized there was no way he'd be getting the car. "Fine, I'll take a taxi," he thought. But when he checked his wallet, empty. Ask his parents for money? Never. There was only one option left. "Hey, man, I need a favor," David said, laying it on thick. Could you maybe lend me $1,000? Just for a little while? I really need it. Don't you have any money at all? Tolian asked in a simple, almost amused tone. All right, swing by and I'll give you something. But he put the call on speaker so Vera could hear everything. David showed up just in time to face his sister's rage. Are you seriously asking my husband for money? Have you lost your damn mind? Get a job, David. You're not getting a penny from me. Spitting on his pride, David took a seat on the bus. 30 minutes later, he stood outside Lucy's parents' home. She herself had gone to buy groceries and diapers for little Nick, who was peacefully sleeping in Miss Lily's arms. David was struck by how much his son had grown and changed. Hi, Miss Lily. How are you? He mumbled, unable to look his former mother-in-law in the eye. She gave a polite smile. Thank you, we're doing well. And you? I've missed my son so much. He reached out to hold the child, but Miss Lily stepped back. Don't, Nick's asleep. He's teething again. We haven't slept for 3 nights. What? I can't even see my own son now? David snapped. You can, from a distance. Sometimes that's the best way to feel close, she said coldly. David left empty-handed, again. He had come to see his son and his former partner with nothing to offer, and fled before having to face Lucy. Now they didn't want to know him at all. Meanwhile, Miss Mary had been making grand plans for her daughter Vera's baby. The kid will be bright, healthy. With our genes, it's practically a guarantee. But fate had other ideas. Shortly after giving birth, Vera's daughter was diagnosed with Down syndrome. The moment her husband found out, he vanished. Vera didn't want to pursue child support, but Miss Mary insisted. It's a matter of principle, she said. He gave you a child with a condition. What's to stop him from doing the same to someone else? Let him pay for it. That's when she remembered Lucy's son, Nick, a completely healthy child. She went to Lucy's home, hoping to make peace, but Lucy didn't even open the door. You already had your chance to have a decent relationship with us, she said through the intercom. You decided I wasn't good enough, that I was too young to be a grandmother to your grandchild. Come back when you're the right age, Lucy had once joked sarcastically. I didn't mean it, Miss Mary tried to explain. Oh, but I do, Lucy replied. You're not right for the role of grandmother. And David, he's no father. Goodbye. That night, for the first time in her life, Miss Mary drank herself into oblivion. When she came to, she found her son passed out next to her, clutching his phone with a picture of baby Nick on the screen. What have I done? She whispered. Then the tears came.